feed another one. One is 7 months old.
This one is 7 months old grass cutter. See how big it is. Ooh, oh. Looks very big. 7 months old grass cutter.
Let me carry it and video me now.
Yeah. Wow. This is 7 months old grass cutter. Very big. Looks very big. Wow. These are their cages. Good day, viewers. Welcome to my channel. My name is Taboy Brave Ibumaboy. In this video, I'm going to be explaining the factors that causes mortality in grass cutters. Basically, the young newborn baby grass cutters, the young ones. What really causes them to die? So that is what we're going to be discussing in this video. Because everybody going to livestock production, you want progress, you want multiplication. But in an instance where your grass cutter starts dying, it's really a big problem. So I'm going to be explaining the factors that causes the mortality and how you can remedy the mortality so that this your grass cutter will stop dying. So if you are new to the channel, do us well to subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much. I am Brave Taboy by name. Now welcome back to the channel. So let's get down to this video. What causes mortality in grass cutter production? Number one thing that causes mortality in grass cutter production is one, not having the right knowledge before investing in grass cutter farming. Now, a lot of persons go into livestock production without proper knowledge, without proper training. Before you go into any type of livestock, be it grass cutter, be it goat farming, be it snail, any type of livestock at all, first of all, you need to undergo training from those already practicing. You understand? For those already practicing, you need to meet them, to mentor you, to learn it practically. You understand? Go to their farm, learn it practically so that you have the basic knowledge on how to manage the farm, on how to manage these livestock. You understand? You are dealing with life. You understand? You are dealing with life. So you must first of all get the knowledge. You understand? Get the knowledge from professionals like us that are already in the field to put you through, to tell you the basics on how you can do it so that you will not lose your money. It's very painful for you to invest money on a particular sector and you lose your money without, because of you don't have the knowledge on it. That is one factor that causes mortality in grass cutter farming. Another thing that causes mortality that you need to take note of is mostly for the young ones. The place you are keeping them, let's say that the housing system, the place you be it cage farm, if you know you are practicing cage farming or you are practicing the concrete pen system, the place you are keeping them don't need to be cold. Cold is to kill grass cutters. When the place is too cold, mortality will occur. You understand? Mortality will occur. And if the place is too cold, mortality will occur. So the place should be warm. It should not be too hot and it should not be too cold. It should just be a normal room temperature. Understand? It should be a normal room temperature. The place should not be too cold. Mostly for the young ones. For the young ones, for both those that are starting, you will buy colony. A colony of grass cutter is made up of 5. 1 male and 4 female. That is what a colony is made up of. So once you buy these your colonies, you must make sure that where you keep them don't need to be cold. That's why you need a professional to come and check the place where you are breeding, where you were to start. Don't just buy grass cutters from any place and go and stock in your farm. Mortality will occur. Understand? Mortality will occur. So the place should not be cold, too cold. That is another one you need to look into. Now, another one you need to look into is the feeding. What do you feed them with? As their name sounds, grass cutter. Basically, in the forest, they eat grass. They eat special types of grass in the forest. Now, when you are breeding them, you must first of all know that their gene is they started eating grasses. So when you are farming them, you must make sure that you give them more of grasses and not just ordinary any grasses. Now, there are different types of grasses which are going to be listed in this video, which is good for grass cutters. So you give them these grasses that they are basically, one of them is elephant grass. That one is good. Sugarcane is good for them. Sweet potato is good for them. Now, a lot of persons make this mistake that once they start their grass cutter farm, they start giving their grass cutter poultry feed. Poultry feed in their young age, it will really harm them. It will cause them to start vomiting. You understand? Because their system are not used to poultry feed. So if you are starting up your grass cutter farm, make sure that you give them grasses. You understand? Give them more of grasses. Then another one you need to give them is basically you don't give them water that much. For grass cutter, if you give them excess water, it will make them to start purging. You understand? When they are young, don't give them water. When they are young, don't give them water, because most of the thing you are giving to them contains water already. So if there is excess water, if they drink excess water, it will cause them to purge. And from that purging now, mortality can occur. You understand? Mortality can occur. So when you are giving them all this grass, this elephant grass, sugarcane, all these things, it contains water. So excess of the water will make them to start purging. From purging, there will be mortality. You understand? Another factor is excess water is not good for them. So let's say if you, even though you are getting, when you get the grasses, their grasses from the bush, make sure that you dry them first. You don't just give them once. You just cut the grasses and you go and give them once. No, you need to dry them in the sun. At least let the sun dry them for some extent before you introduce them to your farm. You understand? Before you introduce them to your farm, the grass need to be dry, not too dried, but the excess water inside the grass need to be dried. That's why in the rainy season, when you cut the grasses, dry them. In the dry season, even though in the dry season, just dry them a little bit before you introduce them to your grass cutters. Another important one is cleanliness. As it's rightly said, cleanliness is next to godliness. When you are practicing grass cutter farming, you must make sure that you always clean your pens. You understand? When they urinate in the place, you must clean. When they shit in the place, you understand? You must make sure that you clean your grass cutter pen daily. Because if you don't clean them daily, the microorganisms, you understand, can affect them. Diseases can occur without you even knowing. You understand? There will break off diseases in your farm because you don't keep your farm clean. You must make sure that you always clean their pen. Understand? When they wee, you make sure that you wash it. Make sure you clean their pen always. And those leftover food, you remove them. Understand? Once you cut grass and they could not finish the grass that you gave them, what you have to do, because there is no waste in livestock farming, what you have to do is to go and dry it. Instead, then introduce it back to the farm. That is what will make them not to die. Then another one is inbreeding. What is inbreeding? Inbreeding, the children that the grass cutter give birth in inbreeding. First of all, let me explain what is inbreeding. Inbreeding, in a simple term, is a situation in animal production where, let's say, a brother and a sister come together, meet and give birth. That is what we call inbreeding in livestock, in grass cutter. If there is inbreeding, they will die. Like normal human being, they will die. You understand? Because in grass cutter farming, when you want to set up grass cutter, you bring different families. You understand? You bring different, let's say, get different families to meet and give birth. But if you bring only one family, you understand, only one family, you cause inbreeding. And once there is inbreeding, there will be mortality in your farm. That is why when you want to buy grass cutters, make sure that you buy from professionals. You buy from somebody that you are sure of. It should not give you grass cutter that is inbreeded. You understand? No. If you give you grass cutter that is from different families, Another important one is when the place is too tight. That's why grass cutter needs space. They need space. You understand? When the place is too tight, the mortality will occur. So you build your pens in a way that there will be space. Understand? You build your pen in a way that there will be space so that they can be moving around. The place will be very conducive for them. Understand? The place will be conducive for them. And another important one is that causes mortality in grass cutter is one, when you cut these grasses from let's say from nearby bush, when you cut these grasses, one of the reasons why I say you should dry them is because most times ant can kill them. So when you cut these grasses, most times ants will be inside these grasses. Now, if you don't dry them, one of the disadvantages is that this ant can start biting the grass cutters. You understand? They are not like human beings that can easily remove the ant that is biting them. No, the ant will keep on biting them till they kill them. So you must make sure that you try your possible best to dry the grasses, to look at the grasses, if possible, look at them very well, one after the other, look at them to make sure that there is no ant that is in the grasses. So that is what you are going to do if you don't want mortality in your grass cutter farming. Grass cutter farming is one of the most profitable business because of feeding them is very cheap. They are basically, they eat grass. They eat grass. That is what they eat. So you can start up grass cutter farming. If you need colony of grass cutter, you can comment below. And if you want to know how to stock your grass cutter farm, you can watch the video showing above, or you check the description box below and watch that video. I believe if you put all these things into work, there will be no mortality in your farm. Understand? I believe this video have really helped you. You have learned a lot from this video. Do us well to share this video and subscribe. Also, if you want to know the best grasses you are going to give to your grass cutter that will make them not to die, will stop mortality in your farm, can check the description box below. I've put the names of the grasses that you can give them. Then also, I will create another video on how you can feed your grass cutters, the best types of grasses, and so many other things. So do us well to share this video, subscribe if you are new, so that once I upload that video, you'll be notified. Till I come your way again, I remain my humble self, Tabo Brave, my boy. Bye-bye. God bless you.